Today we're talking about how a two-person mix crew gets through a television show. We're going to talk about the workflow, things I do, things my partner does, and things to look out for when you sit down for the very first time mixing with another person. Hey friend, welcome back to Mastering Post-Production Sound. My name is Joel. I'm a sound recording mixer. I've been part of the post-production sound industry for the past 16 years, and I'm here to help you navigate the post-production sound industry. So this is a two-person mixing console. Well, this is an Avid S6 right here. This is one right here. And I've talked about this in the past, but it takes two rigs for us to mix a TV show or a film. We have this S6 that's connected to this computer over here, this Pro Tools. And we have over here another console that's connected to its own Pro Tools over there. And then we have a separate Pro Tools right here, a separate computer that has all the mix stems. And you'll see we have tracks that are just set up for routing and meters, and then all of our stems right here. And just so you know what goes into printing, what kind of stems we use for television shows, films, whatnot, they're going to vary depending on what network you're working for or what your deliverables are for any films. But essentially, they're going to be some form of this. There's a Dialogue 5.0 stem, a Group 5.0, a Music 5.1 stem, an Effects 5.1 stem, BG 5.1 stem, Foley 5.1, Alt Effects, which is like a Walla, a Print Master, a 5.1 Print Master, and we have a Print Master, low row, so like a stereo version of that Print Master, a mono of the show, a mono dialogue, mono effects, or rather music, mono effects. What else? Oh, sorry, correction. Stereo dialogue, mono dialogue, stereo music, stereo effects, mono effects, stereo backgrounds, stereo or Foley, Alt Effects, which is the Walla, and then group as well. So this is all broken down. Now you'll see there's some other just auxes and stuff like that. This is all fed, again, by all the information that comes from this rig, which is the sound effects, and this rig over here, which is the dialogue. Okay, it has the dialogue, the music, the ADR, the loop group. Okay, and we are sending out buses from this Pro Tools rig and the other our master outs, and those are going to this stem recorder. So let me just take you through a little bit of the process that we as mixers, whether it's TV or film, go through. Now, there's a little bit of there's some differences between films and TV when it comes to mixing. The biggest difference is time. With a TV show, a typical budgeted TV show, an hour long, it's really like a 42-minute, 45-minute program. We call them hour longs. You probably get like 3 days, okay? 2 days to kind of get through your stuff. The third day would be a playback day for your showrunner, executives, things like that. For a film, it's going to be much different, okay? That would vary depending on your budget and the scale of it, whether it's a big blockbuster budget or, kind of a mid-level. But typically, you're going to get, maybe a week or a couple weeks of pre-dubs. And let's go on the lower end. So maybe you have a week of pre-dubs where you're on a mix stage, like I would be, for instance, film that is, as of the filming of this, going to be coming out in July, My Spy 2, we had a week each of pre-dubs. And I would get into a stage like very similar to this, actually it was much bigger than this, at Warner Brothers, and I get the whole stage for myself. And basically, the goal is to get through pre-mixing all of my sound effects throughout the week. And you kind of break it down to a reel a day. Then we get together, my partner and I, and we get on the big mix stage together, and now we balance against each other. We're there with our filmmakers, our directors, everybody's picture editor, and we're all a happy bunch creating together. That's a film. On a TV show, it's much different. It's accelerated, like so much so. You really have to hit the ground running, right? Because you only have those first 2 days. You want to get ready and so that you're by the third day you're ready to play back for everybody. So the way that my partner and I do it is I pre-dub at the same exact time that my partner is pre-dubbing. When he's pre-dubbing the dialogue, I'm over here running my backgrounds. I'm not trying to play anything loud. Okay, we have a joke, it's like nothing loud. While he's trying to hear the words, he's over here leveling all the dialogue, making sure we can hear all the words. I'm over here balancing my backgrounds. And let me show you. Here are all the backgrounds for this particular episode. Let's get focused here. We have food groups A, B, C, D, and Wallace. So it's not a ton of stuff, right? But, and let me zoom in. This is a shorty. So this is only about 34 minutes of content for this particular episode. So I'll go through all these backgrounds while my partner is mixing the dialogue. And this is all just quiet stuff, okay? Let me just show you. Let's see. For instance, let's just solo this part here. Let's see. Oops, there we go. So just background tones, things like that. So I want to go through that stuff while my partner's over here going through his dialogue. And guess what? We are sharing these speakers. See those monitors right there? Okay, we are sharing those. What does that mean exactly? Well, that means that we are listening to double the information. So if you walk onto our stage, you may be confused because you're like, wait a second, what's going on? I'm hearing and seeing something on the screen, but it's not making sense. That's because this rig over here, on the way we're set up, the dialogue runs the picture. But then on this side, they may be hearing sounds of ocean or something that doesn't make sense. They're like, wait a second, what? That doesn't make sense. What's going on the stage? It's because we're in two different areas of the show or the film. So there are no headphones for me. Now, there are mixers out there who have headphones, and I'll show you right now because I believe, yes, right here. I believe there is an amp right there for somebody who likes to use headphones. Not this guy. I have grown up using the speakers just the way they are, and that is an acquired skill because if you're not used to being able to use the space at the same time that you're hearing dialogue, and music and stuff, then it's going to be real difficult. So I try to not make a ton of loud noise until it's my turn to do so. And that happens after the music and the dialogue are leveled so that I can then push against all that. So I have my sound effects to now, wiggle and adjust against that. I used to do it differently. I used to get through my whole thing and it would be, I worked so hard on this pass. But guess what? Then I would marry up with the dialogue mixer and I would be like, oh my God, I gotta lower all that. It's too loud. So I decided to work smarter, not harder. And that adjustment not only saved me time, but it allowed me to get through everything quicker so that I can know in the content what I need to go back and spend more time on. So once we kind of do our respective passes and I, get my pass done, then we marry up together and we go start and stop, go from top to bottom. So this is essentially, I'll show you again, like I said, this is the space that we're using. We're sharing all the monitors up here. There we go. Even the Atmos ones when we're doing home Atmos stuff. But these consoles are very versatile, so we can do a lot of different things. And it does help us to get through it much quicker. Although, I will say, I am a fan of the older consoles, the DigiDesign icons, the D commands. Something about the muscle memory. I don't know. That's just me. But I do enjoy, these are really nice to look at. I mean, who doesn't want to walk into a big stage with cool mixing consoles like this? So once we get through the whole entire show, we're happy about it. We play it back for ourselves. We'll take notes. Then we're ready to present. We're ready to present to our either producers and then our showrunners, and usually we'll do that with our post supervisor or producer who post producer, so they can kind of get their eyes and ears on anything, and then they get it ready. They give some notes. We get it ready for our showrunners or show creators, executives, everything like that. This particular show, a bunch of people from Hulu, a bunch of people from Disney, whatnot. Then we sit down and we darken the room. I'll show you real fast. We'll get the room all set up right here. Let's see. We'll do this in real time. Here we go. Yeah. See, we'll get it all like this, so it's nice and dark, and everybody's sitting down and they have their notepads, and then we play the show. Once we're done, lights go up, and I found this on the web. She found it on the web. You gotta love Siri, always listening. Then we sit down, and as a collective, tight-knit group, we go through the notes one by one. Time codes, very important. Time codes up there, so that's really important because we want to know, like, hey, at 32 minutes, I could not hear the dialogue. No time code, no note. That's the joke. That's a joke we have. But we also have a motto: no note gets left behind. So it's a very we create a very creative, open place. We want everybody to have a voice. So once we do all the notes, we address them. We'll either do them together with our either director or, in this case, with our network execs. They got busy lives. They got to go. They just leave their notes. We take care of them. And then what we do is we print. We update our stems from here. So when we watch it down, we'll actually hit record, and these are destructive files. So these are already prepped ahead of time so that we can punch into them easily. And what I mean is, once we have our notes and we make our adjustments, all we have to do is hit play and hit record, and it punches and updates those stems in real time. So that's the note-taking process. We update our stems, and then in the end, once every single note is addressed, now the clients can be delivered their master files with all their, audio spec'd out stems to their networks or to their festivals, films, whatnot. Now, the film process is a little bit different because we do go in reels and we'll have to print, and there's usually a lot more technical stuff, especially if you're being released in the theaters. There's, Dolby stuff that's involved with, print masters and things like that, so it all plays properly. But essentially, the process and the flow is the same. Just know this: films, you have way more time. TV shows, you just got to go quick. So that's all I got today in this episode of Mastering Post-Production Sound. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of the behind the scenes, how the sausage is sort of made, per se. But I'm very grateful that you're here. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you need help kind of finding some direction in this industry, make sure to go pick up my free guide. It's the 5 core principles that I believe every post-production professional should master. Head over to masteringpostproductionsound.com/insider's guide to grab your free copy. Grateful you're here, friend. I'll see you in one of these other videos or next week.